Hello, welcome to Confessions of Libtard, where we spit facts. So when it comes to carbon emissions, we need to be concerned particularly with two. The first is from fossil fuels. Okay, the latter is called biogenic, meaning that it is produced from plants and humans, and already it's in the air. So one thing that we need to say for sure, and there is a hypocritical, if you will, and kind of politically devious and scientifically inaccurate and very weak statements that, for example, humans are producing more carbs into the air. No, the carbon dioxide is produced, basically we're breathing it, and it's coming from plants, and the plants are getting it from already in the air. So that argument is not valid. The part with the fossil fuel is that the fossil fuels, we're getting them from the earth. Okay, so they're not part of the cycle, and we're putting more. Okay, now we need to be careful of the terms. Remember the three terms in the shorts that I said you had to know. Carbon neutral, meaning that we need to keep this balance. Okay, sounds fair, sounds reasonable, but here's the reality. There is no way for you to keep the balance. The minute you pull out some, well, you've already thrown it off balance. And how can you possibly calculate how many trees that you have to plant? There is nothing really you can do to keep that same balance. If that's the goal, that's nearly an impossible and illogical goal. Here's the reality. What we need to be doing, we need to be assessing where we can be most efficient, okay, to use it, and to try to work with the products and how to clean it, or how to recycle it, or how to use it. The innovation has to be there in the science. Okay, we need to keep some equilibrium, but we need to know where what can we work with as human beings. All right, there's also a reality. For example, when volcanoes erupt, they put carbon dioxide in the air way more than nations do. So again, there is a lot of science here, and it's a complicated term, and these terms, we have to understand, they're being used as policy. Okay, this is why if you have many conservatives who say, oh, this doesn't exist. It's not that the problem doesn't exist, it's that people are weaponizing it and instrumentalizing it, and there is, particularly in everyday culture, a lot of false information. Then you have the zero emission. Again, there's not possible for it to be zero emission. When we breathe, we are emitting it, and also to have zero emission means what exactly? Because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need energy. In order for us to use energy, we have to, even if you want to use electricity, the majority of electricity comes from what? Fossil fuels. Okay, if you're in a hospital, a generator runs out, things of a disaster, what do you use? Fossil fuels. So there is a reality as to trying to be more logical. So zero emission doesn't work. Net zero, okay, is also another hypocritical term, which is nothing but carbon neutrality.